Morning. Well, we had a small shower last night, nothing meaningful. We'll be shelling corn in a little bit. For now, pulling in, gonna go get in that poet line, start moving some more dry corn. While the truck's warming up, we can talk about the dryer for just a minute. This is a Souk Up 2413. We've said it in prior videos, but we can talk about it a little bit. This is capable of 2,300 bushels per hour at 5 points, and around 1,200 bushels per hour at 10 points. From what we've seen, the ratings, they're legitimate. It's nice for us having the 3 burners. So if you have 19 corn, for us running blowers, we can overrun the blowers. And without having multiple burners, we don't have any options to... We've got a better selection with having the multiple burners. For instance, we would run heat on one burner and run just 3 fans to get our 19%. And then that would allow us not to overrun our blowers. It does recapture in the cooling chamber because we do dump cold at those ratings. Cold, well, air temperature. Now we do have a bit of a mess around here. That's kind of the way with any dryer, I think. We don't have to clean screens for the most part. If we have a windy rainstorm, sometimes on the sides a little there, but for the most part, once a year, we're gonna give it a good clean up. We have friends with that do the Brock equipment. We have friends that are Souk Up equipment. It's neat to compare notes and just see each manufacturer have things a little different. Kind of nice to compare notes here and there, but we're happy with ours. They've got a lot of nice stuff out there too, other brands and things. So just thought I'd add that. Double that up. That is not fun. Stop. Yeah, we'll find you one right this close. I'm looking at you like I can't hear you. It's probably because I can't. Got the serpentine belt back on the 2008. There it goes off to the field. We're gonna haul wet corn home, haul dry corn out, kind of morning. So we're gonna cycle the trucks. Living life on the edge. Didn't spill. Too lazy to roll the tarp by hand. That's me now. I used to not care, but I do now. Electric tarp's kind of nice. I talk about them all the time. Ooh, it's spilling a little bit in the mirror. You didn't see that. Another windy day. Haggie's gonna have to sit. Look forward to getting back in there and doing a little spraying. Fall applies so much more fun than ends drop. Grab our crank over here at Poet Alexandria. Don't want to drop my phone in the dump pit. So on air ride trailer, we reach in here. Dump our airbag. And why do we do that? Look here at how an airbag works. When you take all the weight off, the leveling valve can't react quick enough, and you can actually hyperextend the bag. You'll look at a guy that doesn't deflate his when he leaves, and these are always stood up really tall. Can't be good for him, so I always drop the air ride. So I talked about this trailer being a scratch and dent. That scratch right there was the reason we got this trailer cheap. They had just bought it. The guy took and the driver left with the probe still in the trailer and pulled it and scraped it down the side of the new trailer. I'm sure that was a bad day for him. Good day for us because we got a cheap trailer. Well, we're having a disagreement. I don't know how to settle it. Fuel tanker showed up and delivered fuel, and we all need it at the same time. How do we decide who gets it first? So our bin right now, the gate's open, and we've got no flow. So what's happened there, we cored this bin. We had talked about that in the previous video. So we got up top, and there's some rotted debris, and it pulls it down over the top of this gate. When that gets over the top of the gate, the corn flow stops. Normally we pull this unload out, get a commercial air compressor, something to bust the chunks up, and a vac, and suck it out. In this instance, I haven't pulled my sweep tunnels yet. I'm going to start pulling from the sweep tunnels to pull the level down so we can get eyes on it. As soon as we got eyes on it, we'll decide if we refill or just empty this bin. We have contracted bushels that have to go. Sometimes we get a bin that does this. Sometimes it's best to empty it. We're going to start by the sweep tunnels and see how it goes. Make a decision from there. So the sweep tunnels are open. We've got some flow. We'll pull that down for a little bit. We'll double check. See, sometimes the gate will free up after a few loads.
Okay.
Other times it won't. And if it doesn't, we'll use these bushels in this bin as our dry haul.
Your truck and I'll grab that red semi.
Plans always change. You have to be ready to rethink. Finding a hole for 60 semi loads of corn that may or may not be bad. I guess that's the decision for the day. So let me explain a little bit more about the corn in the bin that we're talking about going bad. By going bad, it's a layer. It's not real thick. It's always on the top. Pulls it off the top to the bottom, and like I said, it goes over your gate. It's not a lot of area that's bad. It's just the idea that there's a spot in this bin that could be bad.
You can pull up here. It
and those usually get worse.
Lower line, like where that was.
So that's why we would say, hey, there's bad corn in there, pull it. So it's going to test fine. It's still dry. Just the idea that you may have trouble with it in the future. And we've learned the hard way not to do that. So I'll update you on how this goes. So I just got a message from Ag Day. They're wanting to use a tweak that I did last night, which was some footage from an upcoming YouTube video that we have coming out. It's actually the one right before this one. But they were going to have that and share it, so that probably will help the channel gain some subscribers. We're gaining fast. I seen in analytics this morning we had 250,000 views and 2,000 watch hours. That's in a little over a month. Can't say how surprised I am. That's pretty cool. So thanks for the support. Hope you enjoyed the content. Neighbor's got a beautiful X9. Been interested to talk to him, see how that's going. Nice looking machine. Over there dumping wet corn, and we're still over here hauling on the dry. Well, it's closed and we just got called on for some grain cart duty. 2019 Case 340 CVT. Hop in here. Suspended front end, air ride cab, and there's our Kinze 1300 we've talked about. Anyway, I'll get some footage grain carting. I'm sure I'll probably be in here most of the day now. And get some good footage. So when you're running the grain cart, you just kind of, I call it stalk the combine. We just kind of hang out and linger. And after running the combine some, I kind of get an idea on how far he's going to go on a dump and things like that. And as you drive the cart, you also get used to that. I ran the cart for a little bit, so I'm sure I'm going to be a little rusty. These are really short behind this wood, so he'll run a lot of times he'll run 2 rounds there, I'm sure. And then dump every 2 rounds. They're so short. So you can see right here, we're counting up on this field has this many pounds, that bushel per acre. And that changes as we harvest the field. Right now we're filling our 08 Tempty, or 08 Kenworth with the Tempty. And that's how many pounds we have on right now. And we know how to, basically we can do legal loads that way. We know that 56,000 pounds of corn is 1,000 bushels. So he can make one more pass. So he skips a set of 12 to make me a road. We were talking about this the other day as I was driving the combine. Well, now we're on the opposite end of that. We're going to be in the grain cart using the road. I'll show you what that's about here in a minute. So he's given me all the signs he's ready to dump. He's made me a road right there. His auger's out. I can see corn. Lights are on. So it's go time. He's going to turn, and as he does, now he dumps at 3.8 bushels per second, which is really fast, but still takes a while to unload. It's a 450 bushel hopper, so 450 bushels, it takes a while to unload it. At the same time he's full, he's also showing another whole pass. And we also are loading that now as well. Very productive. So we got to the end, we're sitting still. We usually don't disengage the thresher while we're cleaning out on an end. Now we don't like to start the auger full, and we don't, very rare, only in emergency. We don't have the floor auger in the combine is not separate from the regular auger, so if you shut it off, it's all full. When you engage it with a full hopper, that's just a lot of strain on the drive line, so we just don't do it. We always clean out and never leave any in the auger. So as you drive, the scales do fluctuate, but as you stop, they level off. We're going to have around 26,000 pounds they just dumped off on me, and that will top off our semi. We're going to top him off. I guess I'm not going to video that exactly until I've been in the cart for a little longer, because I don't want to make any messes. We have to clean those up, and that's not fun. As you can see, we got him at 56,000 pounds. So we sent him home to dump wet corn at the farm with 1,000 bushels. Now we're going to touch empty, so we've emptied the truck. And the next truck that's coming will be the 04. So we click right here and we say, okay, so we're going to fill that truck. And so see, we're at zero pounds in it. We now begin to fill it. So we always pull past the end. When we stop, it's still pushing the material out the back, and it'll leave a pile. Those piles are next spring, you can't plant anything there. It's covered, wet. So anywhere you leave a pile, you usually have a bare spot the next year. So we try to keep it moving enough that it spreads. John Deere's Power Cast helps a lot with that. But we still pull on forward when we come to the end. So corn yields vary. So the sensors in the combine, sometimes you won't realize how full you are. Generally, when we spill corn over the front, we get in some kind of a ravine or have to stop suddenly for the grain cart when we've misjudged this as well. And that's what gives us our cab corn, as we call it. He's gonna make it, but when he's popping his auger, that means he's getting beeped at. He knows he's full. He's begging for mercy. We'll help him out. He'll watch this. Now he's got to turn slowly or we're going to see it come off the top. The pressure's on. Here it goes, Noah. How you going to do? I'm sure you'll see this later. See, he's driving real easy, tiptoeing. You hold your breath and you pucker, because otherwise it comes off the top. And if you stop, sometimes it will. So it's like you're ahead to keep just slow motion as he's doing there. There's a little lag in getting the machine full, so he can go ahead and knife in and start shelling. It's not a big deal. There's a lot of room there. But we'll get right underneath him, and we're going to pick him up here. The glare is awful. I'll probably post this anyway because this is the real deal. That's what I see too. It's hard to see anything. Certain times of day are worse. Sometimes we actually see a little better at night under the lights, as strange as that is. So we're coming up on the end, and if he doesn't need to clean out, I'll see him stop right here, and it looks like he is. So we're going to actually made me a road. We're going to dump that way again. I won't video all these, but we'll get a few. Pretty cool if you've not been around the dump on the run deal. Just get used to one another. First few times we're a little rusty, but if you run together for a few hours, it's amazing how in sync you really get. Hey, another one bites the dust. He's going to dump off what he's got on here. I will weigh it, and then I'll put it on Brennan, and he'll take it home to dry it. Then later on, we'll load some dry corn for in the morning. But that's going to be a while. So maybe he'll do it where I can see it. He's going to fold the hopper down up top. That folds down. And the head folds together. Now he probably won't fold the head because we can drive through the neighbor's bean field and a bean field of ours to get there. But he will have to fold the hopper down because of the power lines. And I was too late to catch it. And there he's folding the head. Folds up on to the next one. We're just right down the road here, 38 more acres. We'll walk over here as these unfold. This is our neighboring bean field that he's in, so we just kind of pull over here, unfold. Makes it nice because the end rows are just straight ahead, so you'll just drive right into those. No corner. Kind of a nice way to start the field. So it latches, and the final two come down. He's ready to go. So he was cautious, knows there's no power lines here, so we got our hopper up. The other night, I caught a power line right up top right there. And not what we want to do, but we always try to watch for that. So when you enter the field, it drops. It'll drop on the float and bang the head. So as an operator, you got to be ready to raise your head or have it pre-raised. And he did that. Okay, he's getting in there. Back end will drop down, and he's ready to go. So he's missed it by one. He's backing up. So what we'll do is clear a big area here, because we'll take the end rows off first. He'll cut a couple ways that way, and that way he can turn here on the end, but there'll be 4 sets of 12 on the end row because we run 2 passes with a 24-row planter, so 48 rows. 4 rows of 12 with the corn head, or 2 rows of 24 with the corn planter.